Hello, fellow safety and health professional, and welcome to another podcast in a series of podcasts based on an article in Safety and Health magazine that's all about you. Another year has whizzed by. It's hard to believe, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed it and had many meaningful moments. Though I don't put much effort into making typical New Year's resolutions anymore. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't. I just, for some reason of how I've developed as a person, I don't. But I do like to reflect on what I've experienced and learned during the past 12 months. Particularly how I've changed, how I've grown and things I've done better and sometimes maybe not better. The evaluation has helped me improve my self-awareness and inspired me to also improve my skills and deepen my insight. It's been a good venture that I do this. I've done this probably for the last 5 or 6 years at least. So, I want to ask you a question. In what ways have you changed during 2022? However, were you in the beginning of the year, January? Are you now as a person? This year, I plan on being more patient, or at least working on that skill. Not that I consider myself generally impatient, but patience is a powerful life skill, and it's worth strengthening no matter how patient you are naturally. Now, here are 5 of my favorite benefits of patience. 1, you feel calmer. Just in every situation, if you're a very patient person, what's going on is not going to upset you easily. And others will notice that too. 2, you tend to enjoy your moments more. Partly because you won't be easily angered or feel you're wasting your time if you must wait. 3, your decision-making improves. You'll make fewer rash decisions that you may regret. You'll take time to think about how to decide. 4, you'll become a better listener. Patience is definitely a mainstay of active listening. And 5, your ability to concentrate strengthens, meaning you'll be better able to solve problems. Now, here are 3 ways I plan to work on being more patient this year, which I would like to recommend for you to explore. Number 1, I'm going to try to be more patient when people are talking. No doubt you've met and worked with people who are slow to get their point across or tell a story. I have a friend. He's not a coworker, but he's a friend. Oh, my goodness, it takes him so long to tell a story. The common saying, to make a long story short, doesn't apply when they explain something. Though I think I'm pretty good at letting people finish their thoughts, I sometimes, while people are talking, especially if they're slow talkers, or take a long way around to get to a point, I start thinking about other things that don't apply to the topic. So I'm going to try and get better at that. And as a safety and health pro, you and I, we need to be patient when workers explain field issues. Because we're sometimes quick to reply because we either quickly know the answer to the question, so we tell them right away what to do, or we can describe what needs to happen. All right, we got this problem, this scaffold, and you say, oh yeah, well, let's do this, and that. But jumping the gun with our responses can signal that we are impatient and that we have something else to do, perhaps, and also we might miss out on a complete explanation. So that's the first thing. I'm going to try and be more patient when people are talking. Number 2, while waiting. Recently, I had a dentist appointment, which is often a perfect setup if you want to practice your patience. And yes, my wait was longer than I expected, especially because I was the first patient that day. So I thought I'd see the dentist quickly, but nope. And as the minutes ticked by, I noticed I was feeling a bit anxious, like, what are they doing in there? Why can't they just be ready for me type thing? But I said, all right, I'm not going to let those negative emotions grow. So I relaxed and I started waiting patiently. Now, this kind of awareness helps you better handle waiting situations whenever they arise. Waiting anxiety, it's an actual psychological term that psychiatrists use, is common, so common in our fast-paced society. And too often I notice people getting highly agitated, even angry. And you see this on Facebook and TikTok where they videotape people freaking out over stuff like this, just because of a few minutes delay even. Whether it's a grocery store or other public place, it's silly and it's harmful to yourself and to others can be. Now, one other tactic which helps me handle waiting better, besides using my smartphone to distract me, which I must confess I do at times, is spending my waiting time being grateful. Like when I was at the dentist and I started to get upset about, I had to wait longer than I thought, I was like, I can go to a dentist. There's millions of people have no chance, have no way they're going to spend their money on going to the dentist. And here I am going to the dentist as much as I want. I got insurance, and I got a good dentist and all this stuff. So I was like, I'm just grateful to be here, even if I do have to wait. But I did say in my mind, come on, hurry up. All right, finally, when things aren't going my way as fast as or quickly as I want them to, I'm going to try and be more patient about it, particularly at work. Whether it's a new safety and health initiative or even a simple workforce behavior change, it sometimes takes longer than you want for any noticeable improvement to occur, especially if the changes involve removing ingrained behaviors. You and I have so much came upon, oh, well, we've always done it that way. Yeah, well, we're not doing it that way anymore. We're trying to do it this way, which is safer, better, whatever. But it takes a long time sometimes, at least in our mind, for that to happen. So I'm going to try to chill more when I initiate something before I expect some really, widespread changes. One time I was commissioned to do some consulting at a company out in the Midwest. It was a big site. And they were having really serious problems between management and the union, particularly about safety. And so they hired me as a consultant to come work, and I worked with a bunch of different groups of different departments to fix their culture some, or at least give them, advice about it, or, tips on ways to make it better. And I did. But it took so long, at least to me it seemed like it took so long. Why not? These are great ideas. Change. Come on. But you know what? Eventually they did. Not everything, but there was some changes, and they occurred over time. So that's what I'm going to try and realize more. Particularly now, with my patience things, I'm going to try to be patient about becoming more patient. That's kind of funny, but it's true. It won't happen overnight. But if you and I are diligent in improving and sticking to our work on improving ourselves, we will see progress. Sometimes in no more than 1 year. So Happy New Year, and I'm looking forward to sending you more All About You podcasts and articles in 2023.